Hi everyone, welcome to iDream IT Solution. Let's discuss about the Python syllabus which we will be covering under our core Python programming tutorial. So let's get started. In this tutorial, we will be covering total 8 modules. Let's discuss them one by one. In the first module, we will be discussing about the language fundamentals, where we will be covering the introduction part, history, installation and setup, features, identifiers, keywords, all the data types, and a list of other kind of basic concepts. So this will be the part of our language fundamentals, and this will be the part of module 1. Under module 2, we will be covering the operators like arithmetic operator, relational operator, equality, logical, bitwise operator, and the operator precedence. So in which order the operators will be working on top of a variable. Those things we will be discussing under module 2. Coming to module 3, here we will be mainly discussing about the input output statements like reading the data from the keyboard, command line arguments, replacement operator, printing the data in a console with the formatted string. Everything we will be discussing under module 3. Under module 4, we will be discussing about the flow control. Here, basically the conditional statements we will be discussing like if else, if else, some iterative statements like for loop, while loop, then the transfer statements like break, continue, pass, delete, all these keywords also we will be going to cover. Under module 5, we will be discussing about string manipulation. What are the different type of operations we can do on top of a string like slicing, reversing, string traversing, then multi-line strings, and what are the predefined string functions available. Those things also we will be covering under module 5. Under module 6, we will be discussing about the functions, like what are the predefined functions available, like math functions, date and time functions, how we will be creating our user-defined functions, how we will be passing value to a function, how to call a function, what are the variable number of arguments we can pass to a function, then the lambda functions, all these things we will be discussing under module 6. Under module 7, we will be discussing about exception handling. So in exception handling module, we will be discussing about the errors and exceptions, how to handle our exception, what are the mechanism available to handle our exception, how we can create a custom exception handler file, then how to cache the user-defined exception. Under module 8, we will be covering the file handling. Here we will be discussing the modes of a file that are available under Python, then creating a file, reading the data from a file, writing contents to a file, then deleting a file. All these operations we will be discussing under module 8. So these are the 8 modules that we will be covering under our core Python programming. Next, let's discuss some history about the Python programming. It has been created by Guido van Rossum in 1989 and came to market on 1991. That was the, we can say, the initial release, that is the version 1.0 that came to market in 1994. In 2000, version 2.0 also came to market, and around 2008, Python 3.x version released. Now, Python 3.x version is there in our market. Currently, we will be also using 3.x version in our all the tutorials. Okay. Next, let's discuss about who will be using Python, okay, and where it is applicable. Nowadays, we can say Python is being used everywhere, right? Like machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence. We can use Python as a software development tool by using Django framework, web development, right? Software testing purpose we can use in game development, application development, hacking also. Researchers they are also widely using Python. Scientists, right? NumPy and Panda those are the packages widely used in our you can say machine learning, data science, right? Next, we can say school going kids also they have started learning Python because it is easy to understand, easy to write the code. Next, let's discuss about some features of Python. In the features, we can say it is very simple and easy to learn. We can justify this point when we will be writing a first Python program, and we can see how much is it is easy to write the code. Next point is freeware and open source. Freeware and open source, these are the 2 points for these are the points which will be applicable for a software which for which we no need to pay a single penny while we will be using that. And open source means the source code is open. It is platform independent and portability in nature. That means the same program we can write in Windows operating system as well as in Linux operating system, Mac OS, everywhere. The same program we can able to run. Dynamically typed. This point we will be discussing in depth when we will be discussing the Python. Okay. Then functional programming, object oriented and interpreted. These are the points we can say okay, functional programming is the functional approach we can develop in Python. Object oriented programming concept also we can implement in Python. Extensible language and extensive library. Python is having huge library, so we can download, we can use the library in our program. Extensible language, that means it can be extended to other languages like Java or C. So let's see how we can download and install Python in a system, and let's write a hello world program on it. So to download and install Python in a system, let's open a web browser. Here we need to search for Python. We can see the official link of Python, python.org. Let's click that. Here under download section, we can see there is a download button, Python 3.11.5. Let's click it. It is asking to save the exe file in a system. Let's save it under downloads. Python.exe file that got downloaded to a system. How to install it? Simply double clicking the file. Let me choose the customize installation and click next with the default setup. Let's change the path. I'm clicking C Python, then Python 3.11. Then I'm hitting install button. It will install the Python in a system. Once the setup will be successful, we will be able to see a successful message if Python has been installed successfully or setup is complete. Let's wait for some time. Let the installation get completed. Before that installation is getting completed, let me open a command prompt admin and let me show you. Currently Python is not there. If I'll be typing py space hyphen hyphen version in my system, it is showing it py is not recognized as an internal or external command because Python installation is not there in my system. Once it will get installed, it should show the current version of Python. So let's wait for some more time. Let's system install the Python successfully. Almost done. from time. Now we can see setup was successful. Once you get this message, that means Python installation is success on a system. Let's close this. Now again, let's close this download folder also. This Python browser also. Let's close it and open a command prompt again. Now type py space hyphen version. You can see the current version of Python is Python 3.11.5. Now let's create a hello world program in Python. To do that, let me create a file. We can give any name to the file like test, and the extension I'm giving it as py, test.py. Okay. It's done. Now let's edit that file. We can say open with notepad. Here, let me increase the font size. Font in, okay. Let me add a print message over here. Print. Simply I'm adding welcome and just save it. So here what we did, we have added the print statement. That means we are instructing the Python program to print welcome in our console. Wherever we will be executing the Python program, it will be printing this output. Now one thing here we need to notice is that no need to define any other thing. This is a single line which is enough to write a print statement. And we have enclosed the print statement within two parentheses and two single quotes. We will be discussing about these we can say structure and syntax more in this tutorial later on. So I have saved this program. Let me close the file, and now it's time to run the Python file. To do that, let me open a command prompt again. Okay, it is under C users. Let me go to desktop. Your desktop, and let's run that file. UI test.py. Let's hit enter. We got the success message. Welcome. So in this way, we can execute a Python program in a system. Okay. So that's it for today. We will discuss more on the next tutorial. Thank you, everyone.